Hello, hello, and welcome. We are so excited to have you this evening. Welcome, thank you. My name is Jay, and I am going to be your StriveScan facilitator for the evening. And we have 5 amazing schools here to give you a lot of quick hits in 6 minutes about what's going on at their school. This is the College Admissions Collaborative Highlighting Engineering and Technology Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. And before we jump into our schools, I have some housekeeping announcements that we're going to go over first. So first thing to say here is that there is a Q&A button that you should be able to see at the top or bottom of your screen. You can use that Q&A button to ask questions to our presenters at any time. We only ask that if you have a question that's for a specific school, name that school in the question so we make sure the right person answers the right question for you. Also, your microphone and your video are completely off. You can see us, you can hear us, but we cannot see or hear you. Also, this is just one of many different sessions happening. So over the next couple of days with CACHET, this organization here, there are many schools that will be doing information sessions and panels that we definitely invite you to find out more information for, as well as more sessions just like this. Also, this presentation is being recorded. So in about 1 week, you'll be able to find out this recording if you need to follow up or get any additional information at strivescan.com/CACHET. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get us right on and started with our first presenter here and stop sharing my screen. So Trinity College, come on up.
Okay, thank you, Jay, and thank you everybody for having me here. My name is Emily Petersell. I'm an Associate Director of Admissions at Trinity College. So Trinity is a small liberal arts and sciences college located in the capital city of Hartford, Connecticut. We are a small community of about 2,100 undergraduate students. Average class size is about 18 students. The 2 key points that I really want you to take home, if you take away nothing else in this 6-minute presentation about Trinity, is that a Trinity education is flexible and highly customizable for our STEM students in particular, and B, that being in an urban center, being a liberal arts college in a capital city, really opens up a lot of opportunities for our students to do some place-based learning. So let's jump into majors and minors. At Trinity, we do have 41 different majors and 28 minors to choose from. As a liberal arts and sciences college, you'll find a lot of the traditional liberal arts majors mixed in with some more innovative programs. We do offer 10 different majors in STEM, which you see listed here. One that we are particularly proud of is our engineering program. Trinity is one of only a handful of small liberal arts colleges where you can get a fully ABET accredited 4-year engineering degree and still get that small liberal arts college experience. Some of our most popular majors on this list would also include biology, environmental science, and neuroscience, which is one of our fastest growing majors at Trinity. Our president, Joanne Berger-Sweeney, is a neurotoxicologist, and she still teaches in the department. An important thing to know about Trinity is that because we're a liberal arts and science college, we do not admit directly to major or directly to program. We don't require students to declare their major until partway through their sophomore year, and all programs are open to all students. So no matter what your level of math or science preparation has been prior to Trinity, all of these majors are open to you, and we can help guide you into the correct course sequence to get on the pathway for any of these majors. A little bit more about some highlights from our academic experience. As a liberal arts college, all students at Trinity are required to take classes, at least one class in each of 5 areas: arts, humanities, social science, natural science, and numeric and symbolic reasoning. You can take more than the one in any of these areas if it interests you, and that does happen. Actually, it's very common for Trinity students to have multiple interests, and you'll see on here 15% of our students pursue a double major. Many more of them do pursue a major and a minor. So again, if you're a STEM student, but you're thinking STEM and other things, and you want to try to do a double major or a minor in another area, you absolutely can do that. I personally know a bioengineer at Trinity who is minoring in film studies. I also know an environmental scientist who is double majoring in anthropology, so it's certainly doable. About 33% of Trinity students take at least one community learning course before they graduate. This is a class where you actually get out into the city of Hartford and are engaging with communities, organizations, applying what you're learning in class to real world problems. So we really do utilize our urban environment to give students those opportunities for place-based learning. 60% of students study away. And again, studying away is something that is definitely an option for our STEM students, even our engineers. I personally know engineers who have gone abroad. So if that's something that interests you as part of your college experience, it's definitely doable at Trinity. More than 80% of our students complete at least one internship before they graduate. And again, it's all about that location, location, location. We have over 200 Trinity-specific internship opportunities in and around the city of Hartford. So these are companies and organizations holding spots for Trinity students to come and work with them. So if you're interested in pre-med, you could do our Health Fellows program, where you actually get to work and do research in a Hartford hospital or a medical center. If you're interested in technology, you might want to work at Infosys, which is an information technology company in Hartford that has a specific partnership with Trinity. Lastly, 100% of our students do complete some type of culminating research project, whether that's a capstone project, a thesis, or a senior seminar course. If you're an engineer or in the sciences, most likely you would be doing a capstone project. And I have an example here, courtesy of Donovan Palmer, one of our 2020 graduates. This is actually a robot that he built that would go to the coffee shop on our campus and pick up his morning coffee for him. So we're really solving those big problems, those really important problems at Trinity. A little bit about our campus community. We are a tight-knit community, and we're also highly residential. More than 90% of our students live on campus in a typical year. We have over 140 student clubs and organizations, as well as 30 different NCAA Division III varsity athletic teams. So we do have the whole city of Hartford at our disposal, which is a very vibrant city. We also have a vibrant campus community. A couple of key points about our admissions and financial aid process. Trinity College is a test optional college. We have been test optional since 2015. There's no standardized testing required at Trinity. We require only one letter of recommendation, and we do automatically waive the application fee for anyone who is the first generation in their family to go to college. In terms of aid, we are committed to meeting the full calculated need for all of our students through our need-based aid program. And we do also award merit scholarships as part of our aid packages. There's no separate application for that. If you apply to Trinity, you automatically get considered for merit scholarships. That is all the time I have, but if you'd like to learn more about Trinity, I'll be taking a deeper dive in a longer session this Wednesday, March 31st at 6 p.m. Central Time as part of this STEM week. So I hope to see you there, and thanks for listening.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emily. We are going to move right along now to our second presenter, which is going to be Tufts University. You know what, Emily, I believe your screen is still shared. Oh, there we go.
So hello, everyone. So we were just in Hartford with Emily. So now we're going to go about 2.5 hours up on the highway, a very scenic trip to Tufts University. My name is Becky Stiles. I am an associate director at Tufts. I am also an alum. I graduated in 2012, and I studied architecture, environmental studies, and I also accidentally minored in art history, which is very much a thing that you can do at Tufts. So as I mentioned, we are right outside of Boston. That skyline there is Boston proper. We are 4 miles away, very easy to get to on public transportation. But our campus still feels like a traditional New England college campus with a lot of green spaces, a lot of cliched kids in hammocks when the weather gets nice, which it has been pretty nice lately. We have about 5,600 undergrads on our campus. Again, it is a primarily residential campus. We have 3 undergraduate schools. We have a full School of Arts and Sciences, we have a full School of Engineering, and we have a full Fine Arts program as well. Our School of Arts and Sciences is the largest, with about, I want to say 70% of our undergrads, and that encompasses everything from the humanities like classical studies to the social sciences like psychology to the hard sciences like chemistry. Then again, we have our School of Engineering with about 900 students. 44% of students in our School of Engineering do identify as women, with the past 3 incoming classes making women making up about 48% of those first-year classes. The really nice thing about Tufts is that we are very interdisciplinary and we have very low walls in between schools. So what that means for you all is that, one, you come in undecided, you do apply to one of those 3 specific schools, but you have time to figure out what it is that you actually want to major in. Because I don't know about you, but when I was 17 applying to school, I didn't know what things like colonialism studies or chemical engineering were. So I needed some time to really figure that out. So you declare your major after you have time to talk to advisors on campus. And even once you declare your major, you are not barred from taking classes outside of your major or even outside of your school. One of my favorite classes is actually co-taught by a sculpture professor in the arts department and a mechanical engineering professor. It's on biomimicry. So essentially using nature as inspiration for your designs, whatever that design may be. So what I want to do is I want to walk through kind of 4 big things about Tufts. One of the first things is that our students are very intellectually playful. This is a place where it's not uncommon to see a physics major who is also a studio art minor. Our students don't really take themselves seriously, but they take their work really seriously. One of my senior admissions fellows, Nina, she's a biomedical engineer, and for her senior project, she's specifically looking at using silk proteins to manipulate and create inhalable therapeutics. But then she's also just wild and works at a bagel shop and like makes bagels on the weekends. We have a cheese club. So students are scurrying from special talks with Ayanna Presley to writing little Valentine's notes on cheese and giving it to their friends. This is a place where students want to actively talk after class, linger with their professors, and then go to their residence halls and stay up till 2 a.m. talking about the physics of Frisbees. Our students are also just really engaged and also really kind. I think that kindness and just being nice is something that is very much at the core of who Tufts students are. Our students want to be engaged with one another and with professors. Over 60% of our students end up doing research within the first couple of years on campus. And we also have this really cool thing called the Spirit Fund, where if you just want to go get coffee with one of your professors in the library, you can go get coffee for free with that professor, because we want to really build and cultivate those relationships across our campus. Our students are also very community minded. We have this really cool thing called the Tisch College of Civic Life, where our students are able to get funding to do different things that they create in the local community. So if you're someone who wants to help create the curriculum for a brand new middle school, we can give you funding for that. If you are someone who is just really excited to look at voting patterns for college age students, you can do that. Again, you're never barred from participating in anything, even if you end up being a STEM student or an engineer. Why not kind of do more? We encourage that at Tufts. Our student, oh, there's one slide missing. So sorry, friends, a classic tale. Ugh, Zoom, what are we gonna do? So one last thing that I wanna talk about also is just imagine if instead of community minded, it said socially conscious. Our students really are students who want to enact change and just figure out how they can apply their learning to the world around them. Because that's the point, right? Like that's why you're going to college, to be change makers and to see the world become a better place. So for our students, they are engineers, they are chemists, they are biologists with a heart. For example, just in our School of Engineering, again, very small, about 900 students, we still have 2 chapters of Engineers Without Borders, which is a program where students work on specialized projects in communities around the world to really impact specific areas of the world. So for our students, we really think, how do you enact that change? And if you have any questions, like Emily was saying, I will be here at another panel. I don't know when, it's on my calendar later this week, but this is my email address and I'm more than happy to talk to you about Tufts.
And of course I'm muted. Thank you so much, Becky. Susan with Union College, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, let me just share my screen here. So I'm Susan Hangstrom, Union College. I am a senior associate dean, and you have hit the capital of Connecticut, capital of Massachusetts. Now you're moving into the capital district of New York State. So we are located in Schenectady, New York, which is a small city, about 67,000 people, about 20 minutes from the state capital of Albany. Union, like my colleague from Trinity, is a small liberal arts college that offers extensive engineering programs. So you're hearing from 2 of the maybe 15 schools in the country that have that mixture. Union is a school of 2,200 students. We have about 50% of our students who are majoring in a STEM field, and about 50% of our students are majoring in something in the social sciences, humanities, or arts. Our STEM programs range from biology to environmental science to physics to biochemistry, geology, and our 4 engineering disciplines are mechanical, electrical, computer, and biomedical. So as you can tell, with even within the STEM fields, we have a very interdisciplinary and integrated academic program. One of the things that I find that's most special about Union is that 80% of our students are doing more than one academic discipline. So we are the type of school that if you are a mechanical engineer, you could also be majoring in music. If you are a student who is majoring in chemistry, you could also be minoring in a language. We have that flexibility within the academic programs. You will be applying to Union College, not into a specific academic program. So like my colleague at Trinity, you have until at least your end of your first year as an engineering student to declare your major, and until the end of your sophomore year if you are declaring a different field. The very exciting news at Union recently is we just completed a $100 million renovation of our new integrated science and engineering building, which is the lower picture on this slide. And we also announced a $50 million gift from a pair of alumni, and that is to create the Templeton Institute for Engineering and Computer Science. He was an electrical engineering a student at Union and now runs this instruments, and she majored in computer science. So they're really focused in on those 2 areas. Another important piece of Union are the connections that you're going to be making. As a small school, we pride ourselves on the fact that we have small classes from the start. Average introductory classes are 21 students, and upper level classes average 14 students. So from day one, you really make that connection with the other students in your class, but also with your professors. We are strictly an undergraduate college. We do not have any graduate students on campus. So all of your classes, your lectures, your seminars, your labs are all taught by the professor. So you have a number of ways to connect with faculty members. You'll have an advisor. You will probably have a different advisor who is going to focus in on your senior thesis or senior capstone program. But you're going to be making these connections with our professors throughout your 4 years. Our professors, besides teaching all the classes, are also scholars. And so they are all doing research and very often need students to help them with their research. And as I said, we don't have graduate students, so they're going to be turning to you to help them with their research. So even starting at the end of the first year, our students are in the labs. Our students are working with faculty on the research that they're doing. And very often then that springboards into a student doing their own research come their senior year. So about 80% of our students will be doing undergraduate research by the time they graduate from Union. Another immersive experience that many of our students take advantage of are internships. And so we understand that's important to be able to apply what you're learning in the classroom elsewhere. And so students are either spending the summer in an internship, or the way our academic calendar is focused, we have the month of December off. So some students will take advantage of that time to do internships. We have about 40 internships within the local capital district of New York, but we also have students who are interning at some of the companies I have listed: General Dynamics, that's Texas Instruments, Stanley Black & Decker, NASA, GE. All of those programs are really open, and students make those connections. We also have a lot of students who study abroad. So 60% of our students will do a study abroad program at some point during their 4 years. This includes 60% of our engineering students and 60% of our students from the STEM fields. We are on a trimester calendar, so we have 3 10-week terms, and this really frees up the students who are studying STEM to be able to study abroad. We do have a very inclusive environment. We have over 130 clubs and organizations. Students at Union obviously take their studies seriously, but they're also extremely active on campus or through the community service opportunities. We are a split division school, so we have 2 Division I sports, and the rest of our varsity sports are Division III, and we also have a number of club and intramural sports. 98% of our students are employed or going on to graduate school within 6 months of graduation. And I just want to mention that we are starting to have virtual interviews starting on May 1st for juniors. And I will be presenting a little longer opportunity to learn about Union. I think it's Thursday night I'm on. So I hope that you will all join me then. And my email address I will put in the chat. So thanks so much for listening.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Susan. We're going to move right along to our next presenter with Wentworth Institute of Technology. Daniel, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Dan Chadwick, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Wentworth Institute of Technology. Wentworth is a small-sized private university right in the heart of Boston. So with Tufts, we were outside of Boston just a little bit, but Wentworth is right in the city. So it's a really great area for students to not only enjoy, living in the city, but also get those great technical experiences in companies that are right in the city of Boston. So we're about a 10-minute walk from Fenway. There's plenty of other sites to see right on our campus. And another great highlight of our campus is that we do offer 4 years of guaranteed housing. So all of our students are able to live on campus for all 4 years, which not all schools in the city are able to offer. We also have over 65 different clubs and organizations for students to take part in. So it's really great for student life and just living in the city and living in this beautiful campus on Boston. So Wentworth was founded in the year 1904, and it was really just founded with the purpose of furnishing education in the mechanical arts. Today, Wentworth has really grown, not only in size, but its technical abilities, and it really focuses on STEM-based programs. So like I said, we're about a small size university with around 4,500 undergraduate students, and we do focus on STEM, design, and management-based programs. Being a smaller size school, we do have an average class size of 19 students with an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So this really just allows you to foster strong relationships with your faculty members, your peers, and staff members at the school as well. So as you can see on this slide, we do have some statistics of our demographic breakdown. So we are around 78% male, 22% female. We have around 7% of new students coming from outside of the United States, and 24% of students identifying as African American, Latinx, Asian, and Native American as well. So here at Wentworth, we have 20 different majors, and they are pretty focused on STEM, design, and management-based programs. So these 20 majors all fall under 5 different schools, and that's the School of Architecture and Design, School of Computing and Data Science, School of Engineering, School of Management, and School of Sciences and Humanities. And those 5 different schools kind of highlight the 5 different areas of focus at Wentworth. When you are applying to Wentworth, you do have to apply with a specific program. So it's really great for students who know right off the bat what they want to be studying in college. So if you're really passionate about whether it's computer science or engineering, you would apply to that specific program. And so really that just goes to show that our curriculum is really focused on that specific program. So like I said, if you know what you want to study, that is great for you. We also have 24 different minors in addition to what is on this slide as well. And some of our newest majors that we have are computer science and society, cybersecurity as well, applied sciences. And we also have different options for some of our majors for 3-year programs. So you can see different options for 3-year programs for a few of our different majors on here as well. But overall, like I said, Wentworth really does focus on these hands-on type programs. So a lot of STEM programs, design programs, and management programs. And Wentworth really just tries to focus on, real world learning. So gaining technical skills rather than just sitting inside a classroom taking notes for all 4 years. So if you're a learner who really learns by using your hands and gaining those technical skills, then Wentworth is a really great place. So Wentworth has a really hands-on project-based curriculum. And like I said, we do have a lot of engineering, computer science, sciences, design-based majors. So it's really important to have those spaces on campus that our students need in order to gain those technical skills in the field. So we have over 24 state-of-the-art laboratories and maker spaces on campus as well. So that really just allows our students to have those authentic, real-world hands-on experiences inside the classroom. And then we kind of take those hands-on experiences and take it to the next step. So here at Wentworth, we do have a required co-op program, part of the curriculum for each of our majors for all of our students. And if you're not really sure what a co-op is, basically a co-op is a full semester of a full-time internship directly related to what you're studying. So our students are required to do 2 full semesters of this full-time internship in a company that specifically focuses on what they're studying. So this really just connects you to the professional world on your first day of being a student here at Wentworth. So like I said, you're gaining hands-on experience inside the classroom, and then you're able to actually take that and apply that to, a real company and gain those technical skills out in the real world and not just in a lab or a classroom. So like I said, co-ops are full-time and the majority of them are paid, and you can earn anywhere between $14 to $20 per hour is the average pay for those co-ops. And those co-ops are going to be 40 hours a week, usually. You can see on the right side of this slide, just a few different examples of companies our students have done co-ops at. And, those students actually go on to working at those companies as well. So gaining that full-time experience in these different companies really just provides our students with the tool set and the networking abilities to be able to get full-time jobs right after they graduate. And as you can see on the left side of this slide, around 87.5% of our students within 6 months after graduating had a full-time job in their field. And then almost 10% of students were attending graduate school related to their field as well. And then only 3% of students were still seeking employment after 6 months after graduating. So it's a really great opportunity to set you up for success in the real world and gaining that those skills that you'll need for working in any of these great companies that you can see. And another great thing about our co-op program is that you can actually complete co-ops anywhere. So they can be, you can stay in Boston and you can live on campus because we do have 4 years of guaranteed housing. You could do a co-op back near where your hometown is. So say if you're from Providence, you could do a co-op there, or you could do a co-op across the country in California, Texas, wherever you want it to be. If you're able to find that co-op, and the Co-op and Careers Office provides a lot of great opportunities and resources for our students, we're able to do those co-ops really anywhere. And if you do have any questions, you can feel free to take down my contact information, as well as the information for the main admissions office. We'll be having a longer information session, I believe, on Wednesday. So if you want to learn more about Wentworth, definitely feel free to join that session with us. And I hope you were able to learn more. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dan. We are going to move on to our final presenter of the evening with Worcester Polytechnic Institute, aka WPI. Go ahead and take it away, Vera.
Thank you, Jay, and I want to compliment you on the flawless pronunciation of Worcester. My name is Vera Grech. I'm a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at WPI. So when you're trying to think of how to pronounce it, just forget about most of the letters in the middle of the word Worcester and just say WPI, and you'll be much better off. So to get us started, what is WPI? So we'll break it down based on its name. The W is Worcester. Worcester is the name of our city. We are the second largest city in New England after Boston in terms of population. So we do beat Providence, Rhode Island because of the number of people. And part of the reason why we have so many people in our city is the number of college students. So we are one of 12 colleges and universities within the city of Worcester. P, Polytechnic. Polytechnic means it's a STEM school. So our students are studying either STEM or business primarily. That is what we are. Within STEM, we have about 12 different engineering programs. It's about 2/3 of our students studying some form of engineering. Our most popular ones are in mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering, robotics engineering. WPI is the first undergraduate program, so bachelor's degree in robotics engineering in the United States. And we're currently the only university that has undergrads, so bachelor's, master's, and PhD in robotics engineering in the United States. Next largest concentration is computer science and interactive media and game development. Then within the life sciences and physical sciences and math. And then, as I mentioned, we do have business as well. You enroll undecided if you want, or you can come in with a major. Students don't apply to a major. They don't apply to a school. Everyone is reviewed the same way in our admissions process. So that way, if you come in with a biotech major and you think aerospace sounds interesting, who is this Elon Musk character? I want to start learning more about it, and realize that that's what you want to do. You can switch majors once you're at WPI. We allow for that kind of flexibility. We have double majors, we have minors, and we also have accelerated masters in programs as well. So typically a master's degree is the 2 years after your bachelor's, but you can do it in 4 or 5 years at WPI. Our population is 4,500 undergrad students, about 2,000 grad students. We're about 40% women at the undergrad level. So for a STEM school, we are proud of that. 14% underrepresented and 10% international. And then retention rate, how long our students who apply for year 1 come back to year 2, is about 95%. We have this thing called the WPI plan. So WPI plan is how we deliver our curriculum. So it has 4 points. We're going to breeze right through them. The first is our calendar. We operate on 7-week terms. Each term is a quarter. So it's a quarter system. But you only take 3 classes at a time, and you have breaks in between. So instead of 14 weeks of 4 or 5 classes every other day, you just have class every single day. So it's the same amount of hours. Second is our grading policy. We do flat grades, no pluses, no minus. And if you don't do well enough to earn a C, we just pretend you never took the class. You literally do not get a grade. It's called a no record. If it's required for your major, you do retake it. But if it's an elective, that's for you. It's there to help you try something new. And flexibility. I've already mentioned that you can change your major anytime. You can take any class from any department. The last part of the WPI plan are the projects. If you forget everything I've said today, remember projects, projects, projects. We have been a project-based school since about 1970. So we have been operating this way where in order to graduate, you're completing large-scale projects that are team-based, either on campus, across the United States, or across the world. The 2 big ones happen in your junior and senior year, and you're going to be doing projects for sponsors. So during the school year, for the 7-week term, your 3 classes are going to be a large-scale project. Maybe you're working Crossrails in London, which is the large-scale railroad project that's happening, the biggest one in Europe. Maybe you're going to Sydney, Australia. Maybe you're going to Cape Town, South Africa, but you're doing STEM work, and STEM, how does STEM affect society all across the United States and across the world. In terms of what happens after WPI, our Career Development Center is going to help you there. So we have our, as we call them, our CDC. who's going to help you with internships, co-ops, and first year or employment once you graduate. Of course, they are there for the rest of your life. This isn't something that you can just use while you're a student. This is something you can use years after graduation as well. Each year we have large-scale career fairs where we have over 400 companies coming to recruit our students because they know our students know how to work well in teams. They know our students know how to work for somebody that's not their professor. They know that our students know how to give a presentation at the end, and they know how to work on tight timeframes. And that's because the WPI plan is built for exactly those things. And our large-scale project work is going to ensure that you have those kinds of opportunities. In terms of employment after graduation, our students, we survey them 6 months after they graduate. For the class of 2019, 6 months after graduation, we had about a 92% response rate to that survey. Of the 92% of the graduates who responded, 95% were either fully employed in something directly related to their major or pursuing some kind of graduate program. And the average starting salary was just over $72,000 a year. Campus life, you first year students live on campus. After that, it's up to you. We have over 250 clubs and organizations. I heard Tufts mention a cheese club. I will up you. We have 2 cheese clubs. One's for tasting and more cultural awareness of the historical significance of the cheese. The other one's to help sell goat cheese, which goes towards scholarship money that helps students pay for those abroad experiences. And then the admissions part, just to wrap it up, we are test blind, meaning even if you take the SAT, we will not consider it in your application. We do not accept any form of SAT or ACT in our consideration, no application fee either. And we do have merit and need-based aid for both our US citizens and international as well. And for anyone who does FIRST or VEX robotics, we do have merit scholarships for those as well. Summer programs if you're available. And to get a longer version of this, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, we will have a WPI presentation. And if you want to see me again tomorrow at 4 p.m. with Union and with Wentworth, along with Syracuse, we are going to be, and Olin College, we're going to be doing a panel.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that there. Now I am going to share my screen here, and I'm going to bring all of my panelists back up if I absolutely could do that. And I want to ask just a question here. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll answer it in the same order in which y'all presented. So Trinity College, what do you have to say here?
My advice for someone going through the college search process is to always remember that college is not the prize, you are the prize, right? So I think a lot of students think that getting into a good college or the right college is a prize to be won. It is the other way around, and you have to constantly remind yourself of that. You are the prize. And we would be lucky to have you at our institution. So show us what you're all about. Don't try to guess what we're looking for, because all that we're looking for is we're trying to get to know you as a person. And so, you know, be yourself, be authentic, and remember that you are the prize.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily. Tufts University.
Well, yes, ditto to PD. That's amazing. 10 out of 10. You are the prize. Love that. I need that on a shirt. I would also say, as much as you probably want to connect with admissions officers, the people who actually know the school best are obviously the students. A lot of us, if you go into our websites, you can very easily find student contact information, and students are way too excited to talk to other students who are thinking about attending our schools. So please, please, please don't be scared to reach out to them. They are there to help you, and they are more than happy to kind of give you the real talk on what any of our schools are all about.
Great, thank you. Union College, what do you have to add?
So I think I would add that, know yourself before you start the process. You've just heard from 5 distinct schools, but we're all great schools. But you have to know what is important to you in the process. So when you're starting to look for a school, know exactly what interests you have, both academically, but also outside of the classroom, and be open to all sorts of possibilities in all sorts of institutions.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Wentworth Institute, what do you have to say?
Yeah, thanks. So I would say my piece of advice is kind of similar to Emily's, where it's just be your authentic self. So definitely, if you have specific interests, pursue those interests and don't just pursue interests that you think the admissions office will like on your application. So I'm sure these other schools read applications holistically and really, wanting to learn every aspect of the student. So we're going to want to know those unique aspects of yourself and those honest aspects of yourself. If it comes across as dishonest, we can usually tell. So would definitely recommend to just, be your authentic self and pursue your interests that you have for yourself specifically.
Awesome. And WPI, what do you have to add here?
Just kind of like talk to the students, talk to us as well. We love getting to know you. Nothing gets me more excited than when I open an application and I recognize the name because the student has asked me questions and we've emailed, or maybe we talked on a Zoom call or something like that before. You can probably tell from all of us today that we really like what we do and we're all full of personalities. We're not robots who are reading the applications by any means. It's these humans that are behind the scenes doing the work. So get to know us, and yeah, when in doubt, just ask. We're always happy to talk.
Great. Now I've got one more question for all of you. What is your favorite event or tradition on campus? Is there anything fun going on? Trinity College.
One of the favorite events at Trinity is every year Trinity College hosts the International Hip Hop Festival in the city of Hartford. So it's hosted at Trinity College. Hip hop artists, musicians, dance groups come from all over the world, from all different countries, and they actually will like teach classes on hip hop music and dancing and the culture of it from their different nations. It's just a super awesome experience, and that's something that we host every year and that people really look forward to on our campus.
Awesome, sounds great. Tufts?
So one of my favorite traditions on our campus is we have a literal cannon on the top of our hill. It doesn't like fire anymore, but it is a cannon and it is there. And there was a protest, I think in the 1970s, where a student decided to paint the cannon white in protest to something specific on the campus that I don't know what. And then the next day, the university painted it back to black. And then she was like, heck no. So the next day, she stayed overnight by the side of the cannon, painted it white again to make sure that everyone could see what she had done. So now that has evolved into a tradition of you can paint the cannon whatever you want, whether it is a marriage proposal, which happens more often than not, whether it is a special performance that your group is putting on, whether it is just like a birthday shout out to your friends. My friends actually did their engagement photos in front of it and we had to paint it overnight. And you do have to stay overnight and people bring like tents and snacks, because if you leave at 11 p.m. and someone comes at 2 a.m. and paints over it, fair game. Sorry, my friend. You left. But there's also an Instagram account, Tufts Cannon. It's pretty great, so you can kind of check that out. But that's my personal favorite.
Awesome, thank you. Union College?
I think one of the favorite traditions at Union is Steinmetz Day, which happens in early May of every year. And it's the celebration of undergraduate research. And so we typically have about 500 students presenting research. And one of our professors was telling the story of a physics student who was presenting his physics research made up in a costume from West Side Story because he was rushing then to do a dance in the dance show about 5 minutes after his physics presentation. So you see students who are researching in all different academic areas, which is really fun.
Awesome, thank you. Wentworth?
So overall, I would say my favorite season at Wentworth is the summer. So I mentioned our co-op program, and we do have 2 semesters of required co-ops. And usually those co-ops are during either the fall or spring semester. So then during those semesters where you're not taking classes, you'd be taking those courses over the summer. So around 50% of our students are taking courses over the summer. So there's still students on campus, which is lovely, is having nice weather and seeing all the students out on the quad and enjoying the campus and enjoying the nice weather. And during the summer, we have summer barbecues every week. So it's for students, staff, faculty, And every week they just offer, pretty inexpensive food for students and, the Wentworth community to enjoy. And I just think it's a nice way to give a little treat for the students that are on campus during the summer, as well as the staff and faculty as well.
Awesome. And WPI, let's close us out.
So one thing that I did not manage to say in those 6 minutes is that our mascot is a goat. We are one of 2 goats in the United States for our mascot. The other one is the Naval Academy. I'm not sure why they are goats and not a creature that swims. But Gompy the goat was named after a exchange student from Japan in the 1800s. So we keep his legacy alive that way. They say that a goat appeared on campus and they named it after the student who had the initials of JK for goat, not J, GK for goat keeper. His name is Gompy Kimura. To this day, on Founders Day, we bring live goats to campus. So it's always fun to see goats when you least expect it, because who doesn't love a goat?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that from everyone here. We are going to close up the evening, and I just want to say thank you to all of you out there watching live. Thank you to all of our panelists. So great to have all 5 of your awesome schools. As many of us have already said, there are more sessions happening where you can get longer and more information from them happening over the week. So that link you see on your screen there at strivescan.com/CACHET, you can definitely go there not only to get the recording, but to also sign up for more sessions. Also, when you close this link, there will be a short 4-question survey that we would love here at StriveScan for your feedback. But you all have a wonderful night. Thank you all so much. Be well.